Dead Man's Tale. It was the pit of winter. It was the pivot of time. Darkness was only broken by 7 hours of short, weak light. It was harsh on everyone. Some people made it harsh on themselves. Slanty was one of those people. Slanty, an irregular man, living at the edge of the world, in his family garage. He was prone to bouts of computer game blackouts and illegal downloading, broken with binges of conspiracy videos, while all the time digressing into trolling and other nefarious online activities, and all of it, all the time, laced with tins of cider and bottles of vodka. That combination of detachment from the world and all this nonsense of say, what day is it? I need to be here at so and so. What time is it now? And when do I need to go to bed? It all made it hard on himself. Slanty, a man who was fallen into irregular ways, awoke again, not knowing it would soon be his last. Slanty, named after a nearby rock, the Slanty Rock, the name of his YouTube channel, the name he earned after he died, did not work. He did not go to the library. He did not watch TV by schedule. He did not take walks around the town, instead opting for long, lonely walks up the coast that led up to a big park on a hill. But he soon even gave up doing that. The only time slot Slanty kept to was his collection of the dole on Tuesday at the post office. The tides of the sea beside which Slanty lived meant nothing to him. He did not notice the cycles of the moon. The evening and morning stars meant nothing to him. He did not go to cafes. He did not go to the bookies. He did not go to any store other than the groceries. He had not been to a GP for many years, or a dentist, or an optician. The local cinema, which he would have enjoyed, he had never entered. He did not take any train journeys to places like Bray. He had not been on a holiday in years. The world for him was a tiny boundary that ended at little, a mere mile from his house. He did frequent briefly that shop GameStop, located in a mall on a hill called Millsfield, for a short time, but didn't keep that trend going for long. And maybe even popping into McDonald's on occasion, but gave up on that too quickly. Most likely on some preposterous pretense. Probably a staff member made some attempt to banter with him, and he just grunted and ruminated the supposed embarrassment for about a month. That's the kind of guy Slanty was. Slanty made a big deal over everything, like the time he was in the post office collecting his weekly dole and an African woman broke the queue. Someone shouted out, "Hey, she broke the queue," and he had a panic attack during the argument that followed. He bored people for many months about that story. Slanty never made small talk, not with anyone. Not even a bit of banter and little with the hot Polish girl he fancied the arse off. This was a day after a marathon session of cider, vodka, online multiplayer shootouts, and rampaging around New York killing people as a Russian gangster. Followed therefore upon with nihilistic optimism a short YouTube video about targeted individuals presented by PhD Dr. Kate Horton, who, surrounded by a tinfoil ceiling to block government attempts at mind control, explained how governments gang-stalk people, the content of which all went easily into the bored and suggestible mind of Slanty. Slanty liked these conspiracy videos. It gave him secret knowledge and confirmed his withdrawal from the world. Slanty went to sleep in the black and woke in the black. All that was perfectly normal. He believed he was living and sleeping normal hours. Often he was, but the routine often slacked because he did not need time. After his supposed breakfast slurp of cider, he partook upon his morning or evening walk, or what time was it, with the dogs. There was little light and the poor weather made it seem to darken early. And sure, dogs don't care when they're walking. They make 3 AM or whatever time of day seem normal, with those wagging tails. He returned to his dark den, compelled by his addiction. He cracked open his last few tins of cider over the next few hours, whilst chatting away with Americans. This was interspersed with nihilistic YouTube videos and heavy metal music. The alt-right was on his mind. It should be bright out now, he thought. He did not care to look though. Alcohol, dopamine, and exhaustion combined together to drive him back to sleep. He awoke, refreshed, ready for his now daily trip to the shop to replenish his cider and vodka supply. He wasn't boring. No though. Sometimes he experimented with wine, but it lacked activity. The cider was caffeinated and vodka gave him energy. Dressed and decent, he descended a slight incline of his driveway towards the green that more steeply dropped to a cliff that fell directly onto the beach. Then that relented to the sea. His dog once jumped off that cliff, chasing a tennis ball. The memories reached back, and he reached forward, and after reaching the end of his driveway, he swung a left. Now he is curving upwards towards the middle-class, semi-detached estate of Fancourt, not Ferncourt, a grotty grey cement wall marked the boundary between his estate and the downwardly mobile one next by. Both estates were respectable, middle class though. Back in the 1960s, the whole place was a huge potato field. A small strip of the potato field remained just east of the bower at the old Fancourt near the cliff. He glided up the grey slope of the 1970s estate of Fancourt, not Ferncourt, that gave a small overlook of the darkened town before hitting the Skerries Road. the local cost cutter shop, was less than 5 minutes away. Now at the lollipops lady's spot, he eyed left, scheming. The road was completely void. So were all the streets. He attributed this rightly to good luck and good timing. Maybe a football match is on. Crossed his mind, crossing the road. He rolled with the leaves, past the playfields left uncorrupted by developers before the Pinewood estate. At the road sign pointing oddly towards Drogheda, he followed. The path flowed down. With dimming eyes he entered the shop. Into his desires he squinted, shook off the dark and adjusted to the light before heading towards the drink. Nothing seemed out of place as he went to the checkout counter. He plonked the cans and a 2-pint bottle of glass vodka on the counter. He felt alarmed at the female's lipstick-stained teeth, puzzled look who was working as the cashier. "It's only 7 a.m. I can't sell you a drink at this time," she blurted out, bewildered. This had never happened before, not with a local anyway. "Oh," was all Slanty grunted in return, before darting out of the shop, blushing red. He rushed home back towards comforts, into his unusual distractions on the internet. Later he succeeded in buying a loaded drink and washed away the ruminant cringe of embarrassment. Drink was still a savior. For now, it will soon be his killer. That thing that will always make him the Slanty Rock.